This year, Kenyans were to enjoy the benefits of 100% food and nutritional security under the ambitious Big Four agenda. The government intended to do this by expanding food production and supply, reducing food prices to ensure affordability, and support value addition in the food processing value chain.
Now, tonight on The National Reminder, our very own Victoria Rubadiri sees just how much the government has managed to deliver under food security pillar. Take a look.
Agriculture is a critical sector in Kenya and, according to the government, contributes approximately 30% of the country's GDP annually. The plan was to see a 48% increase by 2022. Now, though figures from the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization paints a different picture of the sector's actual contribution to GDP. In 2017, when the Big Four agenda was first announced, agriculture's contribution to GDP stood at 20.9%. It slipped slightly to 20.3% the following year, but rebounded to 21.2% in 2019. It saw another improvement to 23% in 2020, and that's a 2.1% increase from 2017 to this year. A far cry from the intended 48% increase. Another promise that is difficult to verify due to the lack of data is the 34% increase in the average daily income for farmers. We do get an inclination of what figure that was in 2019 when the Ministry of Agriculture revealed its plan to raise the daily income of farmers from 465 shillings to 625 shillings. Well, there's no word on whether that was achieved. Now, as it stands, there are 4.5 million smallholder farmers in Kenya, of whom 3.5 million grow crops, 600,000 are pastoralists, and 130,000 are fishers. And of that group, 67% operate on less than 1 hectare. Another commitment was to reduce the number of food insecure Kenyans by half by this year. In 2017, roughly 2.6 million Kenyans were deemed food insecure. This year, that number has grown, and it is expected that between 3 to 4 million people will be in need of humanitarian food assistance in Kenya. Well, this is something that the government has been trying to address by boosting food production. A key staple, maize, was high on the agenda. Since 2017, the growth has been inconsistent, beginning with 35.4 million bags of maize produced in 2017, which went up the following year to 44.6 million. Production went down to 44 million bags in 2019 and then recovered in 2020 with 42.1 million bags produced. Well, however, last year, the national production fell to about 33.09 million bags. Well, this was 15 to 20% below the 5-year average. Failed rains, drought, floods, land degradation have all been factors hampering Kenya's potential in the agricultural sector. Not to mention high costs of production due to the high cost of inputs, fertilizer, seeds and fuel, and general underfunding and low investments in the agricultural sector. Well, spending on agriculture by government has been declining year on year, from over 10% of government expenditure in 2009 to below 5% in 2020. Well, limited agro-processing and value addition has also been a challenge. The Big Four agenda set out to create 1,000 agri-processing SMEs. According to the most up-to-date records, there were 200 production-oriented SMEs in operation. With missed targets and more threats to Kenya's food security, the promise to keep every Kenyan fed is even more elusive 5 years on. That's your national reminder of the week, lest you forget.